Hey, honeys and hunks. Got a brand new thing. We're going to do a live stream of the first playoff game of the Hornets versus the Pacers. Jade, who you got tonight with this?
They drafted all the people, right?
Yeah. So I thought about this long and hard. No, not really. I had to take the Pacers for this first game because Hayward's not playing. The Hornets have been on a slide. Pacers are 5-5 their last 10. Like, I think the Hornets healthy could probably beat the Pacers. I don't think they can do it with that.
But they have Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, well, Rookie of the Years don't lead teams to playoffs.
I think they can.
Carmelo. I mean, I still don't think that LaMelo is Rookie of the Year, but that's my own bias.
Yeah, that's because Anthony Edwards is on your team.
Yeah. He's got a fair argument for still having Rookie of the Year. That's just my thing.
You're not wrong.
The thing I'm tired of is people are saying it's a landslide with LaMelo getting it. That's what's frustrating me. But I'm surprised. Wow, 5:30 in Minneapolis, and it's actually starting.
Yeah, it's on time pretty much. That's incredible.
No, we still have the 10 minutes of them in the layup line.
15 minutes of pregame.
Who's your X factor for the game?
I don't think I have a player. I think it's going to be the matchup with Sabonis, the center matchup. I don't think Biz can hang with Sabonis.
Oh, Pacers have an ugly lineup, though. They are so depleted. Not having Miles Turner is going to hurt them.
They're great, eh?
They're going to win the game. They did those jerseys. Oh, my God.
That's what we're going to just say how nice Charlotte's jerseys are.
I have seen TJ McDermott shrug his shoulders because he doesn't know what's going on like 3 times already. Or Doug McDermott, not TJ McDermott. Doug McDermott.
I knew you meant. We knew you meant.
Okay, I got fast break question of the week, Jade. So Kyrie Irving just became the ninth time someone's done a 50-40-90 in the year.
Yeah.
But someone this season has just accomplished the first 50-50-100. Do you know the player?
No, but they couldn't have played that many minutes.
There's a minimum of 100 shots.
50-50 and 100.
I will give a hint. Is in the Southeast Division.
Southeast Division.
It's a player.
I have to do division research because I don't remember who else in what division.
So think of like the Southeast. So think of like the Floridas, the Atlanta.
50-50 and 100.
Ooh, Sabonis.
I have no idea.
Tony Snell on the Atlanta Hawks. 50-50 and 100.
Wow.
I don't know if that's impressive or if that's kind of sad because you've just hit that's all of them just bare minimum requirements for it across the board.
Well, 100 is never a bare minimum.
Just think though the Brooklyn Nets have two players that are on the 50-40-90 club with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And let's be real, I'm sure if James Harden wasn't chucking up all the shots.
I know he was wide open.
Oh, you guys need the Sabonis airball?
Yeah. We're online, so we might not be exactly synced up with
Yeah.
Oh, I heard Shay.
Oh, hey.
Hey!
Sorry, I had to restart my Wi-Fi.
Oh, gotcha. Shay, who do you have winning this game?
I can do it.
I don't care.
Are you watching it right now?
Yeah, I have it on.
Oh, you have it on?
just, like,
Okay.
I think I'm a little indifferent to both of these teams. That's all.
I mean, I'm very like I might just have to say the Pacers strictly because of Sabonis's hair. Oh,
I mean,
I would
the man has
probably
the
say
best hair in the NBA.
like besides that, like everything else, I'm kind of like,
The
Sabonis?
That doesn't do anything.
Hair's
Sabonis has such lovely locks.
Like,
every woman has a romantic 13-year-old. Hair's really nice. Sorry, we're having debate over Sabonis's hair. Patrick is not sold.
no, you called it the best in the league.
I can't think of anybody with better hair than Sabonis.
Oh, if you give me a second, I'm sure I can come up with someone. Well, that's also a very like. Are we talking like style wise? Are we talking about how it like just like floats and jumps up, or
I mean,
like
he's got both of those things.
and it bounces back to the same position. That's what impresses me.
Yeah.
It bounces back to the same position.
I like how my dad just texted me and he said, Kyrie just became the 4th person in NBA history who averaged 25 points, game averaging, all that stuff. And then he said, who are the other 3? Like, why is my dad doing NBA trivia right now? Like,
He wants to connect with his daughter, okay?
Well, I don't know that. So I'm like, Mr. Jeopardy over here. Like, I don't know.
Well,
I should know because I read about it, but
I had already asked Jade this as like my fast break question. So like you just mentioned, Kyrie Irving, 50-40-90 club.
yeah.
Someone this year just accomplished the 50-50-100. Do you know the player? I gave Jade the hint of it being in the Southeast Division.
Like, I know I'm going to pick the Nuggets.
So that's like the Florida teams, Atlanta.
Jimmy Butler?
I mean, the Trailblazers have Norman Powell.
Tony Snell. 50-50-90. You have to think. 50%. Jimmy Butler. I'm sorry, that was a bad guess. It was
a bad guess. It was the first thing that came to
Jimmy
mind.
Butler is like broke from 3-point. Like he is broke. He does everything else great, but his 3-point shot is not a thing. His mid-range is dead on.
Plays in the Southeast.
Atlanta, Orlando, Miami,
Trae Young,
Charlotte. That would have been a good guess. But then you think about all the shots that he'd take. You think he wouldn't miss a free throw for the entire season? Jimmy buckets.
I said bucklets, so Jimmy bucklets.
Who are you guys taking in the second game tonight?
I'm going with Washington because they're on a roll.
Yeah. I'm taking Washington too.
Yeah. I mean, I want them to be in it, so that's why.
Yeah, we don't even need to actually ask Jay that one.
I'm like, I don't even know who they're playing. I just know tonight is the Wizards playing.
It's Boston.
Like
it's Boston.
Oh.
And see, I also don't want them to win because it's Boston. It's Danny Ainge. Anything with Danny Ainge. Like the one thing that could really ruin the Timberwolves for me is if Danny Ainge.
There's a playing game with Russell.
Wrestling at Stanford got canceled.
Exactly. No Jalen, no chance.
Yeah, because they didn't want to pay for it, even though the athletic department makes millions. They were just like, yeah, we can.
And also, Boston doesn't have like.
Pandemic. So
they're such a. They need to rebuild. When I mean rebuild, I mean they need to just refresh this off season, and just because this was a bad season for them.
Yeah, really bad.
They should be just looking forward towards next season.
Maybe it's only the weekend. But sometimes those only things are the only
So,
things that
Jade, do you have TNT in Canada?
We don't, but they pick up all the national games for. Like my networks pick up all the national games.
Do you still get to pick up like Shaq and Chuck and Kenny?
Yeah.
And okay.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes like those guys are what make this game. All right, so now I'm hearing that there's someone's rapping to a song. Speaking of rappers in basketball, J. Cole, first professional game in Africa. Was 3 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in 17 minutes. What do we think of a pro debut like that there, Jade?
I mean, there are NBA players who have done less than that in their debuts. So, I mean, he scored. He helped other people score.
Shay, what about you? Were you impressed with that?
I mean, yeah, it's also J. Cole. So, like, the fact that he's not a basketball player first and foremost, I'm like, good for you.
I watched the highlights of the just the entire league because they just the league started 2 days ago, and I watched the highlights of the first like 3 games, and I was like, good for them for having their own professional league now. But then I was like, and I'm gonna watch NBA basketball now.
Yep. We're gonna see a lot of those guys in the NBA.
Exactly,
Yeah,
that's one thing.
Time.
It's going to be one of those. All of these leagues that are popping up in the league now that are going to be more prominent. They're going to be like the minor league teams in baseball that are just like there's minor leagues everywhere that might not even be associated with the MLB,
right?
But because there's a team, the St. Paul
they
Saints.
Get snowed still.
Yep.
Well, the start is looking pretty good for our pick tonight on this game. Charlotte is struggling.
What minute mark are you in the first?
6:44.
Oh, we are at the same time point.
We switched to TV from internet, so we're synced up now.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm trying to get mine back up because Oklahoma Wi-Fi.
Scary Terry.
Nice.
Oh! Scary Terry does exactly what LaMelo does every single time when they miss a shot, and I do like it, is then like when the big guy gets a rebound, they just like go up and they try to just like Muggsy Bogues, just like rip the ball out of their hands.
Right?
Like Muggsy, and I mean, ironic enough that they're Sabonis again for the 3. He airballed it. I mean,
his shot doesn't look great. Like it wasn't smooth.
It's yeah. Sabonis 3-point. Oh, you're not helping me out.
I miss O'Shea Brissett.
What?
I miss O'Shea Brissett. He was on the Raptors for a minute.
Did you know that Sabonis averaged almost 7 assists this year?
Did he?
20 points, 12 rebounds, and 6.7 assists.
Wow.
4 years in the league. I don't give this guy I know the guy's great.
Nobody hearing those numbers, people are not talking about Sabonis.
No, they're not. Oh, that poor guy. Oh, wow. I didn't think I knew he was good, but I didn't think it was like he's playing like him and Julius Randle are like the same player.
Mm.
Who would you take, Sabonis or Julius Randle?
Randle.
I would take Sabonis.
Randle?
He's been in the league less. I think he hasn't hit his ceiling yet. I think Randle's closer to his ceiling.
Okay, so we got 2 Randalls and a Sabonis. That's an meet at high noon on that one. I like that one.
I mean, the only reason we know anything about Randall is because he got traded to the Knicks and had a career season.
Thing
Sabonis
is, though,
doing it in
those
Indiana.
numbers the thing is, those numbers that he's putting up in New York are nothing new. If you look at the past few seasons, Randall's been putting up good numbers, like when he was in New Orleans, but he was in New Orleans.
Right.
That's a terrible pass.
That was so fucking
Such a
ugly.
bad pass.
Looks like he totally just missed where the basket was. It was- That was the least Jokic I've ever seen from a Jokic. I'm gonna throw this pinpoint ball.
I'm glad Julius Randle's found a spot. He's not been in the phone. Okay.
But what season is this for Randall?
What?
What season is this for Randall? How many years?
6. The season is 6th year. I think we will see him as a Knick. I think that's what we're going to be seeing Julius Randle now be associated with as a Knick. Which good for them.
Good for him.
They got a good hard worker. Yeah, it's getting to. He's now become New York's savior. That's a lot of pressure.
They're gonna love him forever.
That's a lot of pressure being the New York Knicks' new savior.
All the pressure.
They didn't even have to go get a rookie to get that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So how old is Cody Zeller? 74?
It's not very nice.
He looks like your assistant principal.
He totally does.
Guidance counselor with a sweater vest.
He reminds me so much of Caruso.
Ew. I'm glad we haven't talked about him in a while.
I wonder. Oh, God, Caruso. I wonder if Cody Zeller is going to be on a team after.
No,
Impression.
it's because he's a white guy with a terrible baldingness. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's why everyone loves him. That's why everyone
I
loves
assume
him.
he's a Plumlee brother.
He does look like a
He looks
Plumlee.
like a Plumlee brother.
Ooh, Sabonis. That passing.
Cody Zeller is a Plumlee brother.
Oh, Shay.
Yes.
Gotta ask, what is your take on Monty Williams being coach of the year?
Sure. I don't know.
Who was your option for? Who was your option for? Is that your take for the rest of the night? Sure.
Sure. I gotta think about that one.
No way he has the best hair in the
Because he was my dark horse pick. That's what I was gonna say. I thought Quinn Snyder was gonna get it.
The Pacers set.
Yeah,
Dude, we just saw.
I wasn't.
Or Doc.
Doc. That'd be an interesting one.
Philadelphia
I don't know.
locked up that number 1 seed.
Yeah, no, that's why I think that would be interesting because, and then with the way Embiid's had a career year,
Yep.
with his performance, I could see that. I think I just have to go back and remember which coach is coaching what team because they all played musical chairs.
True. It's gonna happen again this season too. I think there's gonna be at least 3 coaches at a job.
Change. Yeah.
So before you were on Shay, we were talking. Me and Jade were talking about two of the assistant coaches for the Timberwolves won't be returning. One of them's Jared Vanderpool, who everyone was just like, why didn't they give him a chance before? Well, that was one of Ryan's guys, so that's why they didn't move him up. But I'm thinking he's going to be one of those guys that if someone gets fired this year, Vanderpool will be in one of those head coaching spots this off season.
New soy vodka soda with real fruit.
Seen that spicy chicken commercial?
No, we get different commercials.
Oh
We don't see the same. Unless you're seeing Shaq now, we might both get that one.
no,
I'm
it was a
getting
Mountain
Shaq's
Dew
pink
one.
cartridge commercial right now.
It was a Mountain Dew commercial where two guys were wearing chicken costumes, and they were like
He looks amazing.
Mountain Dew's best with hot chicken, and I'm like,
Oh.
no, it's not. Mountain Dew is not good with spicy chicken.
No, that doesn't even sound good.
No, that is not a good iced tea.
Yes.
Iced tea with some spicy chicken. That's good.
Oh,
I like chocolate milk with my spicy foods.
Well, I mean that too.
milk with chicken?
Yeah.
Spicy chicken? Oh yeah.
Especially spicy, because the milk handles the spicy, and I am a lightweight.
I love my spicy.
I can't.
I love
spice.
watching Hot Ones. That's one of my favorite YouTube shows.
That's a good one. It's a creative idea too.
Yeah, I love it when they talk about the guy, the host of the show, Sean Evans. He's just like, yeah, who would have thought this bald guy, this shaved head guy, who idea about
guess,
just eating spicy chicken wings got this big on YouTube, and I was like, oh my god, I love that guy. That's where I sent you guys that link to the Trevor Noah
Yes.
when he was eating
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Why would I even eat this? McDermott, the poor man's Kyle Korver.
Yep.
He even looks like a B. He looks like a B model of Kyle Korver too. Like Kyle Korver was like a better looking version of Ashton Kutcher, and Doug McDermott looks like a realistically good looking person. Okay, Devontae Graham. Do we see him in Charlotte much longer, or do they trade him because he's too good?
I mean,
You got
why would
Devontae Graham.
Why would they trade it? Why would they trade it?
Well, you got Devontae Graham, you got LaMelo Ball, and you got Scary Terry. That's a lot of players right there. That's a lot of talent at that point guard position.
Sorry, I just got really distracted because I'm looking at LaMelo Ball's hair, and all I can think of is Sideshow Mel.
So, it's exactly. It's nice. He just got it nice and cut because it is nice and fluffy. It is nice and
I want to know how
dryer.
he gets it to curl that way.
Blow
I
dryer.
can't make my hair do that.
Blow dryer.
I never use a blow dryer because I am not that high maintenance. So
I could see LaMelo being that high maintenance.
I guess
True.
so.
I could see him being that high maintenance. He is a skinny kid.
Yeah.
Wow.
LaMelo, yeah.
He's young. He's got time to fill out.
Ooh, PJ Washington swinging a miss with that cool dunk. You ain't no Miles Bridges.
Where? Ooh, wow.
Ooh, slid right through. Oh, I can't stand TJ McConnell. Okay. I know we mentioned a little bit earlier with the jerseys, but whose jerseys are we feeling more? Indiana's or Charlotte's?
Charlotte, and it's
Charlotte's.
not close. When Charlotte,
Oh!
That was fucking sweet.
so again, why would they trade him? What?
I know. I'm just saying they could get. They are missing a lot of pieces, and
I think they should develop with where they are and maybe try and add another veteran.
add a veteran. Okay, it's just I just know they could get a lot for Devontae Graham.
I think Melo and Devontae Graham have high ceilings, and they should try and keep them as long as they can, as long as they continue to improve. Obviously,
I mean, they also got a hidden gem with that number 6 McDaniels. He's just like his brother, who is on the Timberwolves, and they are defensive geniuses. Jade, think of if OG was mixed with Boucher.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe not as good as a wing defender,
No.
but a
But, like,
little
what
bit
I
better
hear
of a
is
rim protector.
really great footwork and
And-
rim protection.
Yes.
Because OG's got crazy good footwork. Boucher is a blocking machine.
I think if anything, I think it would be he's more of a OG with bits of Chris Boucher instead of a Chris Boucher with hints of OG.
Mm. Either
He just-
way, I would take a player that fits.
Oh no,
that.
and like I like when I watch him play, I'm like, oh, you would take him in a heartbeat. You would take him in a heartbeat. We have a couple players that would work really well in a nurse system because they're just pure. They're hustle players, and they know what their role is on the team. It's just that they have to, as players, they have to grow. TJ McConnell is such. I hate him, but he's so pesky. He's
He
the
is
definition
pesky.
of pesky.
You can't forget that he's out there.
He got me to shut up. Ooh, LaMelo. No.
Wow, that's a lot to make up for one quarter.
Yes. You can definitely tell that Indiana has a couple people that have had experience of like Sabonis has playoff experience. Brogdon has playoff experience.
Yeah.
McConnell's got playoff experience. And you look at Charlotte. Bismack Combo's got playoff experience.
And like we got rid of him the year after we went to the playoffs with him and never looked back.
He had a great playoff with you guys, and then Orlando was like, "Oh, we're gonna cash in," and you guys are like, "Yeah, you guys can do that."
Please overpay Bismack and enjoy that for the next 4 years.
I'm sure if he wanted like a third of what he ended up getting, I wouldn't have turned down after what he performed.
He probably should have stayed with Toronto too, because Orlando doesn't have the development, and he never got better after he left.
Nope. When did he leave?
When did he leave? I feel like this must be his 3rd year in Orlando.
Well, he's not in Orlando right now. He's in Charlotte.
Oh, he's in Charlotte. When did he get to Charlotte?
I have a robot in front of my face that can. Diablo. What's CHO?
What's the context of CHO?
Oh, okay, because this is his second stint in Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
Because he goes back. Does he go back to the Charlotte Bobcats? Oh, he goes back to the Bobcats. That's why it's Charlotte. And then, okay. If you go to Basketball Reference,
I forget how long he's been around because his face hasn't changed the entire time.
No, yeah. Well, he was a one and done guy.
Mm.
He only did one season in Toronto.
Yeah.
And that.
So it was Charlotte, Toronto, Orlando, Charlotte.
So it goes Charlotte, Toronto, Orlando, Charlotte. Yeah. He was in Orlando 15, Toronto 15-16. So it's been a couple years.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I mean, I'd take his shot blocking and his rebounding. I could
But
use
not
that
for the
on.
money Orlando paid him.
Oh well, no. That's just Orlando. I don't think knew what to do with their money. They were just like, "What?"
I mean, that's not new. That's not a new stance for Orlando, though. That's kind of
Yeah, let's be real. It's not new for Orlando. I'm surprised. I guess I was about to say James Borrego is not on the hot seat, but this is only his third year, and he's now just got the team that, or close to at least. They got the player now with LaMelo.
Yeah, it's too soon to move coaches in Charlotte. Apparently, Brad Stevens is safe. I saw that today.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, with Woj saying that it's going to be safe.
Yeah.
Are you on your PlayStation, Shay?
Yeah, I'm trying to download Sling so I can watch it on my TV. What, can you hear the little music?
I can hear just because I know the sound
Right.
of the PlayStation, so that's
Ooh, yoink.
See, McDaniels. I tell you, McDaniels. It's
I see he's built
Man.
like Boucher. Oh,
LaMelo.
Oh my gosh. See, and I think his name is Jaden and Jared McDaniels. Poor McDaniels, you got the steal, okay, bad dribbling, but then you made up for it with the block. His brother, who's on Timberwolves, Jaden, he almost ended up in the top 10 for Rookie of the Year voting. I think he ended up in like the 11th spot. So
just 2 points, GA, in that first quarter.
speaking of awards,
oh
who do you
yeah.
guys think's gonna win MVP?
Of this game? No, I'm just kidding.
I got Jokic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jay.
that's what I've been saying. I gotta stick to it.
I think Jokic is gonna get it, but I don't know that he's the most deserving in my opinion.
No, I don't think so either. Who
But I think he's probably gonna get it.
who would you pick for your MVP, Jade?
I'd have it down to Chris Paul or Steph.
I thought you were gonna say Chris Boucher. I'm like, no, Jade, no.
Can we give me a little bit of credit? Just a little bit.
Steph would be my
It's a
personal
regular season award. That's what happens.
Steph is my personal MVP because this was supposed to be the year that he was supposed to get like outed. Yeah, he was supposed to like they weren't even supposed to be a thing because there's no Klay Thompson and everything.
Right.
They started out rough. Oubre was too pretty.
Yeah.
He's just too pretty for his own good.
Then people are already saying,
Man, Indiana's playing a little sloppalopoly. Scary Terry.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how sloppy Indy is if Charlotte can't sink a basket.
Jeez, how does McConnell get in there? All 5'3" of him.
5'3".
Look at him.
Hey, that's how tall I am.
Yeah. Look at you.
He's not 5'3".
Look at
is
me.
He is not.
No, I think he's like 6 foot.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm taller than him. Ho. And look where I'm at. I love how the ball just laid on the top of the rim
Yeah,
for
I
a
didn't
second.
I just wasn't sure where it was gonna go.
Who do you think is going to get the defensive player of the year, Jade?
I think Gobert is probably gonna get it.
Yeah, that's kind of who I think too.
I want it to be it should be Ben Simmons. I forgot who it was.
Like somebody says that every year it should be Ben Simmons.
But like someone pointed out something. It was Ben Simmons can guard all 5 positions. Almost.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Gobert can guard 1. Gobert, granted, like can shot block and like extraordinaire, but when it comes to guarding 1-on-1, he can guard 1, maybe 2 positions. And
But
that's
Ben Simmons, I don't know, like I don't know where their numbers are. Where are their numbers? Because if Gobert's only guarding 2 positions and his numbers are so above Simmons, then you kind of got to give it to him.
above numbers and like what?
Like whatever defensive numbers they take in blocks, defensive rebounds, steals.
Well,
Yeah.
Ben Simmons is one of the tops in steals, and I'm pulling up his stats right now. I think he's getting pretty much 2 steals and a block and a half per game.
How's his rebounding? His defensive rebounding?
His defensive rebounding is at about 6, but he only gets 7 rebounds a game. He's a point guard.
Yeah,
It's 2 different positions.
He's a big guard. He should get more rebounds than the average guard.
They list him at 6'11".
Yeah, like he's huge.
Yes. This is probably his least efficient year, though. Oh, I would have given him that award last year, not this year. Anyway, I just honestly, I'm just tired of it always being Rudy Gobert. I feel like it's just now, just like, oh, might as well give it to him.
Right.
I feel bad also for Miles Turner.
You
where
just don't like him.
I don't. No, I don't.
I don't like Gobert either.
But it doesn't mean he doesn't deserve the accolades that he earned.
I just feel like I don't feel like he deserves it, but there's no one else there that does deserve it. So I guess it's him.
Well, that's kind of how all awards work. Who deserves it the most?
Well, no, I'm not. Well, I don't think he deserves it. So that's the problem. There's no one that deserves
But if nobody else deserves it, then he must.
I don't think he deserves it, though. I don't think anyone deserves Defensive Player of the Year this year because there's no standouts.
But it's of the year, just for this year.
I'm just saying what I'm saying, Jade. Why are you trying to sway my view on what I view on him?
There's no defense, though.
There's been no real big standout defensive player this year for me.
I get it.
I want to see the top defensive team in the league. Is it even a big guy? Are we looking over like Chris Paul, maybe?
Yeah.
On that side of the ball, and I think that has been a great boon for them from an offensive standpoint. Now, granted, they don't defend it the same way, but when you've got arguably a defensive player of the year candidate out, that will have an impact. The Monkeys turn back.
Charlotte looks like exactly what they are, which is a talented and inexperienced team.
Yeah.
No, like this is this is a bigger stage than most of them have ever played off in, and I mean Charlotte won the season series 2-1.
Well, Charlotte did have some real hot play early on, but they've been falling apart as of late.
Well, Gordon Hayward got injured, and Charlotte never quite got back to where they were without him.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was back, like he didn't play very long before he was out again.
Oh, I love a good block.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Nike, play new.
You know what I find is underrated in basketball?
What?
When teams force shot clock violations. That makes me so happy. If a team plays defense for all 24 seconds and it ends in a violation, I'm like, yes.
I love that.
I think it's even better when it's the violation where the team doesn't even get the shot off because they didn't even know it.
Right.
When they didn't even know it,
shot.
they're just trying to find someone to get open so they can get a shot.
Ow.
Jeez. Cody Zeller. I think with the beard, Sabonis has like a lion's mane.
True.
It all connects. It all connects. It's like Aslan out there. Cross him up, Brogdon. There's another 50, 40, 90 person for
Ooh.
Brogdon?
Brogdon is. He's a 50, 40, 90 guy.
Ooh.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I probably wouldn't have guessed him.
2 seasons ago, I think it was. Oh, yeah. Dude's lights out.
Lights out.
He almost had that his rookie season when he won Rookie of the Year.
Can we just talk about what this team would be if Depot had stayed in Indiana?
I know. I was thinking that.
Well, you know what? If Karis LeVert just gets healthy,
Yeah.
he's picking up where Depot left off. I don't think defensively he's not as dynamic as Depot, but offensively LeVert's more consistent than Depot is.
Yeah. I like LeVert a lot.
I know that because of fantasy. I've had both of those guys on my fantasy teams, and yes, there are a lot of similar. Ooh, McConnell, you botched the baby shot.
Baby shot.
Make a push before the end of the
Ooh.
Oh!
Man, they have dug themselves a deep hole. The good news is they can still make the playoffs if they win the next game.
Yeah.
I thought Bridges was going to get that.
I don't know how I would feel about that if I was a player. Because if Charlotte loses this and then goes on to play the next play-in game and wins and then loses in the first round, I would just feel like those play-in games were just a waste of time.
Right.
Money grab by Adam Silver.
They are going to lose the first round if they make it.
Yes.
Right.
They're going to get Joel Embiid is going to walk the floor with them.
Oh my god.
Oh my word. I feel so bad for Bismack.
Yeah. I mean, neither of these teams have someone that they can expect to slow down Embiid.
No.
Who would you take, LaMelo or Ben Simmons?
Simmons. For now, currently. But I think LaMelo will end up being a better player than Simmons.
Ooh.
Man, he's just like his dad. If you ever want to see one of the best passing big men of all time, check out DeMontis' dad, Adrinas. I think it's Adrinas Sabonis. When he was in Portland in the late 90s, early 2000s, oh boy.
Sabonis is a great passer.
Yeah.
He's also a unique player that
he took that from his dad.
That's an area where the hamstring would even be more of a concern because he's kind of the guy that plays on the ground.
Who do you got for sixth man of the year, Jade?
I don't even really know who's in the conversation for that one. I never really do if it's not Lou Williams, honestly.
Right. I know I said Dennis Schroeder when we talked about it on the podcast, but then it's like he might have started too many games.
I think he started all the games he played.
Right. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that.
All right. So the major candidates are this year are so Derrick Rose, Jordan Clarkson. Oh no.
Bones is down. I think he's okay, maybe.
So I'm just gonna throw out some candidates.
Okay.
So like I said, Derrick Rose, Jordan Clarkson, Jalen Brunson from the Mavericks, TJ McConnell, Melo. He's in that competition. He's in that kind of realm this year with it.
Interesting win.
I honestly have no idea who's gonna get it.
Joe Ingles. Utah's got two major candidates.
Wow. I mean, well, Utah had to do some stuff to get to where they did this season, so it's not terribly surprising.
I just got Jordan Clarkson because he's been the favorite for most of the year, even though towards the end of this year he's kind of he's gotten to his hot and cold streak even more lately. But he's the only one that's really got a strong case.
Oh my gosh, a hand-breaded chicken and waffle sandwich from Carl's Jr. I'm like, I've never even been there, and they almost won me over.
That sounds delicious. You know, that's one of the things about when I do watch American TV. You guys know fast food places are like, there's so many more options, and they look so much more delicious.
That's why we have so many issues.
Patrick just said to me, it's probably for the best that we don't have.
Jade, do you?
I guess 100% true, but still.
Jade, do you have? Does Canada have commercials for prescriptions?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
I imagine they're about all the same because how many different ways can you do commercials for prescriptions?
Right.
Just because I know that I was hearing that in some countries they don't have. I don't know which countries, but they don't have like prescription meds go on commercials, and they think it's weird when you see that. Ask your doctor if you should take this. No, the doctor should be telling me if I should be telling something.
Me.
I shouldn't be asking them, being like, "Hey, I haven't gone to school whatsoever for anything."
But I saw this commercial.
I saw this commercial. The music was really good. The actor seemed really happy in it. Do I have BMI?
It's such like
she looks so much happier after she took the medication. So maybe that's what I need.
Good.
No, you need antidepressants. Oh. Oh.
I know. We have weird commercials, and then then if you want a medication, then you pay like so much for it.
Mm. Yep. Ask your doctor.
Ask your
I'm
doctor.
not gonna remember that. I'm not gonna remember that for my doctor.
You're supposed to write it down.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna write down. All right. So who wins GM of the year, President of the Year?
I feel like the Suns have to be in those conversations.
What?
I feel like the Suns have to be in those conversations. GM and President of the Year.
I made one trade.
I don't think I'm having a hard time making this sentence because it is so offensive to me that I have to say it. But I think the Knicks organization has to be in that conversation this year.
No,
And I hate saying it.
no.
Like my stomach is upset, but in my brain, like.
But that's not James Dolan. That's
there.
that's not James Dolan. That's.
But it is the people he
Thibodeau.
hired.
It's Thibodeau.
Right. It's Thibodeau.
That makes me a little frustrated, but.
Well, it's not just Thibodeau because it was the front office that hired him, the new front office.
True.
Like they have to get some credit.
Well, see, the thing is, if you give James Dolan that credit, that means I have to give Glenn Taylor credit. So that's where I'm at right now with that. If I have to give James Dolan credit, then for that means I have. So I would rather give Tom Thibodeau credit before I give Glenn Taylor any credit for anything.
I'm just saying.
Sabonis has got more hair underneath his chin than Zeller's got on his entire head.
He's like, how old is Zeller? Like, Patrick just said Zeller looks like he's 50 years old.
He does.
He's sponsored by New Balances. It's not Kawhi. It's Cody Zeller.
I mean,
and the nice layup by the uncle.
Uncle Zeller.
With his cargo shorts and the New Balance. Which I do love myself a good pair of cargo shorts, so I shouldn't rip on it too much.
Yeah, but you don't wear New Balance.
No, I do not.
Especially the two together.
It's the combo. 100%.
Yeah, it's the combo.
And then the ankle high socks.
Yep.
Or they go above the ankles. Yeah, Scary Terry's been a real letdown this game.
They needed him.
Yeah,
Yep,
they needed him to show up.
Sabonis again.
Yeah, he's
How many assists does he have?
Let's check the Bletcher report, as my friend Nasty Nate would say. He's got 5 assists. He's only got 2 points, but he's got 12 rebounds.
Wow.
He's 1 for 7, but that's how you do it.
He's hustling.
Exactly. Everyone else is scoring, but him. Which, yeah, I mean, okay, you guys got the rest of it. I'll do the rest. I'll hustle. LaMelo's also he's 1 for 4, 0 rebounds, 0 assists.
Yeah, he hasn't looked good.
They're shook. They're 100% shook.
Bismack has played 3 minutes, even though he started.
Whoa.
And did he get hurt?
I don't know.
He must have gotten hurt because he doesn't have.
I don't see any other reason why he wouldn't play the entire game.
Yeah,
Right.
there's a reason. Yeah, because Cody Zeller is in place for him right now.
Mm.
That's why we're seeing so much of him. And then you have the entire Holiday family pretty much on Indiana. 2/3 of it. Just like how 2/3 of the Antetokounmpo families in Milwaukee.
Right. It's a family affair.
Who do you guys like for the West plans?
I mean, I want the Warriors to just take it all and just knock out
But do
the
you
Lakers.
think they can?
No.
Like no chance?
I give them 25%.
45. I mean, I think it's unanimous that we would all have loved to see the Warriors take out the Lakers.
Yeah. I did. Oh, ouch. When I saw that matchup though of those two being, I'm sure Adam Silver almost fainted when he saw that was like the matchup being like, wait, that's one of the oh god.
Yeah.
Then he just like looked at his bank account just shoot up for 5 seconds. It's like, oh yes. Like that.
Well, and again, that's the game where both of those teams could make the playoffs.
Oh, Cody Zeller. But yeah. Who's the other game? It's
Spurs, Grizzlies.
Memphis, and once again, Memphis last year going into the bubble, like they just had to avoid falling apart. Like that was their only thing, and they would have made the bubble. And they made the playoffs, and they couldn't. And it's the exact same.
But now they have that experience.
But this is they're going up against San Antonio. With that situation, I then go to coaching.
Right.
You got Gregory Popovich. We got Pop.
So Taylor's taking the Spurs.
Yes. Shay, what about you? You got the Grizzlies?
I think that the Spurs will end up being it, but I wouldn't mind if the Grizzlies.
Are you also saying Grizzlies, Jade, because of Jonas?
Maybe a little bit. I didn't mean to, but I can't rule it out.
I mean, that's if San Antonio didn't have Greg Popovich as the coach, I would be going Memphis.
I mean, I really like John Morant too. Like really.
Yeah.
John Morant is awesome. He is. Oh, who would you put Morant?
Also, there's also the layer that the Grizzlies used to be Canada's other team.
Right.
So there's that. Like there's a lot of factors here in my feelings about the Grizzlies.
That is a team that the Vancouver Grizzlies should still. Canada should still have another team, I think.
Oh, my dad texted me again because I didn't text him back. He said, "Hint: 2 are still active players."
Can't help but notice you didn't finish. You didn't answer the question there, sweetheart.
I'm like, I don't know. I could Google it though.
What is it? What is the question?
He said Kyrie just became the 4th person in NBA history who averaged 25 points. You know, the 50, 40, 90. Who are the other 3? And then he said, hint. Again, 3 hours later, he texts me and says, hint, 2 are still active NBA players.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. But you said a Southeastern person, and I don't know who's in the
No, that's
Southeast.
50, 50, 100.
Oh. Numbers aren't my strong suit. Okay, so
Kevin Durant, because he's a 50, 40, 90 guy.
Yeah.
You have to think,
Has Steph never had a 50, 40, 90 season?
He has. That was the next person I was just about to say. He's a 50, 40, 90.
Steph.
Yeah.
Because then there's also Reggie Miller, Dirk Nowitzki, Steve Nash, Bird, Mark Price. Yes. Bird, Mark Price, Reggie Miller, Kyrie, Kevin, Bird, Nash, Dirk. Yeah, Steph. Yeah. So say
That's why my dad's asking. Larry Bird's like his favorite guy. That's
yeah,
ever
it'd be
existed.
Larry. Yeah, for your dad, it would probably be Larry Bird. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why he was asking. He loves Larry Bird.
There's been Larry Bird's done it twice. That's probably another reason too. If you want to freak your dad out, try to see if he knew how many times Larry Bird did it. And then you can impress him if he doesn't know. And you'd be like, how'd you know that? Being like, oh, yeah, my 28-year-old co-host knew that one off the top of his head.
No, I do love that you have, because like I'm not
I
gonna
had all of those names up in my head.
like I could never remember this stuff because I'm like numbers, like no, like that's so bad. Like I just can't do it.
Oh,
But that's why, like, I love how you have these random facts because I'm like, yeah, now
12-year-old
cool.
Taylor, like what he did, like for his free time, would go on NBA.com and just look up NBA player stats. I would just like go up.
Basketball nerd.
I would just go on and I'd be like, oh, it's a new week. That means they updated the numbers on NBA.com. Let's check out what the stats are. Like, yeah.
I also just saw Anthony must have been watching our stream because he said the US and New Zealand are technically the only countries that allow prescription drug commercials.
And Canada.
And Canada.
Yeah, I'm like, you were watching our stream? Like, I didn't even know.
Well, that we are at end of the first half now. So Charlotte is.
Are you guys listening to Kenny?
Not right now, no. What's he saying?
All right, I won't spoil it because you guys are going to get it next, I guess.
No, I have it. I was listening to you. I have my headphones on. I got the TV going.
He's talking about what he used to do to first-time guys in the playoffs. He would go around knocking on their doors, yelling at them that it's playoff time and screw with their heads.
Did you notice Ernie's tie? I really like it.
I didn't see it, but I'm going to look now.
McDermott.
Wow. He did that quietly.
Lots of threes. I think it was like 5 of 6 or 6 of 7.
Yeah, it's a lot of threes.
Out of Kenny, Chuck, and Shaq, who's your favorite, Jade?
Kenny, and it's not close.
Right? I'm like, I was like, oh, Chuck,
Okay.
Oh, Shaq. It was going back and forth in my head.
Okay,
Kenny.
personality-wise, Kenny's is your favorite?
Yeah.
Shay, same with you?
No, I don't know. They're all so unique.
Exactly. So I was gonna say, like, there's some of them, like when it comes to taking like their opinions on like a player's or like a team's role, I'm taking Kenny's takes. I'm trusting Kenny. But like personality, I'm going Chuck.
But see,
Shaq,
I want them to have personality and not say ridiculous things.
I mean,
And
Shaq,
Chuck
doesn't always say ridiculous things.
No, he doesn't always. Right. Neither does Charles always. But when they do say ridiculous things, they are like all the way ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
Shaq is wearing sweats. Shaq is wearing sweats, and you know what? I'm on board with that.
He's wearing a t-shirt and sweats under his blazer. Patrick does a really good Shaq impression, by the way.
Oh no!
The problem.
I will admit, as much as Shaq can really annoy me, he does mesh to any room that he is in.
That's true.
And he just adds to it.
You're going to enjoy them on their enshrinement interview.
Really?
Because they were a lot of fun, but they also got like really real.
Oh yeah. Well, that's one thing I do like about them is that they will get real with things.
Yeah.
That is why I think we are, as NBA fans, are spoiled that we get this kind of quality from a crew like this. Whenever I watch other sporting crews and like they try to have a camaraderie, I'm like, oh, this is just, it's too painful to watch. Watching like halftime reports with like NFL games, I'm like, you're just a bunch of old dudes that are like being forced to like
just sit in the room together.
Yeah, exactly. Like these four guys, you can tell are like, oh, we're truly friends.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when SNL does their little spoofs of the entertainment, though. I love when Kenan Thompson always does his Charles Barkley impression.
Oh, he's so good at it.
Who do you guys think is going to happen over with Marv Albert and Chris Webber?
I have no idea.
That's a lot of replacing to do.
I'm hoping that it is making room for women.
That's what I was gonna say.
I mean,
because that if we look if there's one thing
really
if there's one thing you can point out with TNT that TNT lacks, they don't have a lot of women.
Yeah,
they don't. And I mean, ESPN's got like the top one with Doris Burke. They got top dog with her.
Right.
And Candace Parker is WNBA season started,
right.
So she's now gone. I'm curious if they bring in Christian Ledlow into gameplay. I like her a lot. I'm trying to think of maybe some other retired WNBA players right now, but none are coming to mind. Maybe Lisa Leslie comes. I don't mind her. She's chill.
I'm interested to see too. Especially because like I don't like a lot of the in-game commentators. Oh.
No?
Oh.
I really liked Chris. I really liked Chris Webber.
Yeah.
That's either like I was talking with my parents about it. Either you never figure out completely why the person was fired, or else they were fired because they're like, oh, they just threw the N-word on live television.
Right.
Like, you can't do that. So like you went like Chris Webber was obviously not the latter, and so he's in that like you got fired because probably just money.
Right.
Bummed me out because I really liked him, but then at the same time it was probably going to be either him or Reggie Miller.
Right.
And I am a much more of a Reggie Miller fan than I am a Chris Webber fan. Chris Webber's going to get a job. I'm glad. Okay, speak of Chris Webber. At least, though, he loses his job, but then finally gets to the Hall of Fame. So, shouts for Chris Webber finally making it to the Hall of Fame.
I thought I read that, and I was like, is this just a lot of Chris Webber news for, like, the last 2 days?
He's had a roller coaster of a weekend of emotions. Oh. It was like, oh, no, I just lost my job. Oh, wait, now I finally got the recognition that I should have gotten about 4 years ago. He's one of those players, when you look at the time that he played in the time of, like, you know how point guards are just, there's too many good point guards that even really good, like Mike Conley, 14 years, and he now gets his first All-Star appearance. That was essentially Chris Webber, because you had him, then you had Rasheed Wallace, then you had Tim Duncan, then you had Dirk Nowitzki, and then you had Kevin Garnett, and that's just in the Western Conference.
Right.
That's when he was playing at his best too. So, and then also like when he's also Charles Barkley in the night. Like he was playing at the wrong position at the wrong time. He was just that's a guy. If he would play today, he's like Chris Bosh, which also another person. Congratulations, Hall of Fame, Chris Bosh, who he would have been on it. He would have been in this year's class if this year's class wasn't the greatest class of all time, pretty much.
All time, right?
It's really hard to say that it's. I think it's the 2011 draft class, Hall of Fame class. Hall of Fame class.
At Best Buy, we know everyone has a different pair of perfect headphones. Maybe you need a pair that won't fall out while you're running, or the pair that shuts out the world.
Or was it the 2009? It was. Yes, that one. It was either because that one had Michael Jordan, had David Robinson, and John Stockton.
Ooh.
So there's my fast break question for you. Who would you take in a three? Which draft classes? Which Hall of Fame class is better? This one or that one? When it comes to those three players,
I'd have to go with it. You said that was 2000 and what?
2009.
9. Yeah, I might have to go with that.
You go 2009 class. Okay. Let's see. Okay. We just got an update with Jade. She had to reset her Wi-Fi as well too. So no worries with that. Everyone's just got some. I guess I'm the only one that's got solid internet connection.
Good for you.
Living in suburbs.
Right. I'm like living out in a suburb, but it's a suburb of a not big city.
Yes, I'm a suburb. I'm a suburb of a major city.
Right. So I'm like, that doesn't really count. Like Tulsa's not big enough.
Timberwolves this weekend actually with the Hall of Fame. So they had Kevin Garnett inducted, and then also one of the front office guys. His name is Rudy Tom Donovich, who was a 5-time All-Star as a player, and then was also the coach to the Houston Rockets in the 90s. That when it wasn't the Bulls winning the finals, it was the Houston Rockets and Hakeem Olajuwon. Rudy was the coach for that. Rudy works as a player scout, international scouting thing for the Timberwolves. So we had two connections to the Hall of Fame this weekend.
What?
Yeah. And something that I was getting into before you were on to that you signed on, Alex Rodriguez is offering Garnett's spot as like an investor for ownership for the Wolves.
Oh.
Because in Garnett's Hall of Fame speech, he said he was looking forward to rebuilding Minneapolis. And right now, with this deal that's going down, the guy that's really throwing down the money, Mark Lohr, his big thing isn't so much like rebuilding this franchise and his goal is rebuilding Minneapolis,
right?
Like the Twin Cities. Like he wants to, like he's treating this as not just the getting a team, he's getting a city.
That's really interesting.
That's why, because right now, due to what happened last summer with COVID and then also with George Floyd, a lot of businesses has closed down. There's a lot of open vacancy. There's a lot of things that need to be redone in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And it's the perfect time for someone to pick up a city that used to have it really going, but then had a huge speed bump. But I'm curious because, like when Garnett said, I'm looking forward to rebuilding. So if that's how we're getting him back, that's hell yes.
Right. No, I'm excited for you. I mean, I think that you guys deserve to finally have something.
I think I was thinking in the shower when I saw the news that I'm curious if the reason why Glenn Taylor turned down the deal before with Garnett wasn't necessarily Garnett. It was because of the other investors involved, because Garnett was just the face of the deal. He's not
Yeah.
the main money of it. He's not the one that's got the multiples of billions of dollars with it.
Yeah.
Sabonis is killing it. As I say that, they mention he's shot 1 of 8.
Right?
Good
But
job,
he
Taylor.
seems to be doing better than like that.
I mean, like, he's been doing, like, shooting wise, he hasn't done. Oh man. Oh. And got out of control. Another Gonzaga guy. If you need to look for players, look for a player that comes out of Gonzaga. They're going to be decent for you. They're going to be decent for you at least. Ooh. Are you watching the game right now?
Yeah, I'm putting it back
Okay.
on my phone right this second.
There's 18 points that came in New Orleans on January 8th.
Hey.
So this is franchise has not had much success coming back from big
I was just going over with Shay kind of the things that we were talking about earlier about with Garnett and Alex Rodriguez and the team, and how I think it's actually it might have been the other investors that Glenn Taylor didn't like with Garnett from before, and that's why he didn't go with it. I don't know. Oh, I think we might have lost Jade again. Oh, never mind.
Oh, I'm here.
Are you even looking at the screen? Yeah, my dad finally texted back and he said, "Bird, a man before his time." He like loves Larry Bird so much.
That's funny.
Do you know that in the summer Larry Bird would be working on his parents' farm, his mother's farm?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Aw.
like, you know how everyone like, I'm gonna buy my parents or my mom or my dad like a house or something like that. Yeah, Larry Bird got his mama got her a ranch, and then he would work on it in the summer. But that's how he hurt his back, was because he was raking rocks. It was like one of those things where like nowadays like that kind of stuff is like written in your contract where you're like, yeah, you can't do that like extracurricular stuff like that. You can't do that.
Just great effort and activity there.
Oh, man, did Bismack Biyombo, what did he go down with?
The next game that we do hopefully is a better game than this.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, this game had potential to be a lot better than this.
Yeah.
We should have moved it to tomorrow and done the West playing.
Yeah.
Everything's so much later.
Do we want to do, because this is usually when we usually wrap up. And
I know, I was like, I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah, I haven't eaten. Maybe I'm available for it. I have it a day after tomorrow, so I'll still be able to do it. But maybe we do another of the play-in. Do you guys like that idea?
Let's play it by ear and talk about it tomorrow.
Okay,
Yeah,
then. You hear that, honeys and hunks? We're going to wrap up today because this game already looks like it's been wrapped up for us before we even actually say anything. But this has been fun. We will be doing this as the playoffs can continue and go on. Don't forget to, as it's been on the ticker the entire time at the bottom, follow us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube at Hardcourt Hunnies, and on Twitter at HC Hunnies. Twitter, not Twitter. Good job, Taylor. Yeah. So we'll see you guys possibly tomorrow. Be on the lookout on our social media sites for that update with it. And on that note, have a great night. Enjoy the next game. Go Wiz.
Woo! Russell.